put in there and how the builders are putting it down?
Definitely.
Okay, and that's interesting because I think a lot of people think about it after. You know, I build my house and everything is finished now. Okay, let me look at burglar proofing.
Yeah, so a certain level of being proactive needs to be employed with respect to designing your home and taking into consideration the implementation or the installation of a security system, meaning metalworks.
Okay, all right, so we looked at the doors, the windows, in terms of what are the things we should consider. We looked at the choice of material that we use. What about installation that may be significant? What are the things people should consider in terms of how you install and your burglar proofing?
Off the top of my head, the first thing, sometimes you go and you see fabricators install some burglar proof for the outside using anchor bolts.
Right.
And I have tightened up the anchor bolts and left them there. You can go and take them off. Right. You need to weld that on there.
Okay.
So it can't come off, or it shouldn't be able to come off very easily. Yeah. And I've been all over Tobago and I've seen so many guys making that sort of a schoolboy error. You need to secure it on the outside if you're going to put it on the outside. But if it's on the inside, it can be left as is, because if someone can screw the burglar proof in from the inside, you're inside already.
You're inside already, yeah.
I'm in your home. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Right. So when you put it on the outside, make sure and anchor it properly and weld the head of the bolt.
Okay.
Don't leave it just there.
Right. So I'm a criminal.
Right.
I'm coming home by you, stake out your house. I see I have your burglar proofing on the outside. I see that you have aluminum, you know. I go, I plan, because I'm watching you for a couple of weeks now, you know. I plan and I walk with my equipment and that kind of thing. What deters me? What deters me? The difficulty. And I like the fact that you actually mentioned that. Yeah. A burglar proof is not foolproof. Right. It doesn't protect you 100%. Okay. All it is a slowing down mechanism where someone has to make an additional effort, and they probably don't want to put in that effort. Or two, the noise level that you have to create to get into someone's premises would be too alarming. So you're turned off, and you go for something that's easier. Okay.
That's the purpose of the burglar proof and the burglar bars and the gates, just to keep them off for a bit. Because regardless, let me tell you something, if someone wants to come in, they're coming in.
Yeah.
You cannot stop that.
Okay.
I've known guys who come to your roof.
Yeah. Right.
So what are you going to do? Burglar proof the ceiling?
You can't do all that. But I know earlier on we said that given our weather conditions, aluminum or steel might have been the preferred. Now, when you consider now deterrence, in terms of what then would be a preferred material that may be harder to cut.
Stainless steel. You're going to have a very tough time. You're going to get a very rude awakening and a very laborious lesson.
Right.
You cannot cut through that very easily.
Okay.
The average hacksaw blade, the average cutting disc, no. Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
So I have to get some real high-powered tools to cut that.
You have to be well organized.
Okay, and we're assuming that the people not so well organized.
Yeah, well organized.
Okay.
But funny, you mentioned equipment earlier on in one of your statements. I find it very alarming that someone could go to a hardware and buy a bolt cutter, buy an angle grinder, and no one asks any questions.
Right.
Because these are tools that you can use to break into someone's home.
Yes.
And I bet you all of these guys are armed with such equipment.
Yeah.
So no one is really checking up.
Right. So you're saying that should send up some red flags?
Yes, because in speaking to my dad once again, I think in the 80s, a bolt cutter, there was some form of registering of that particular tool. You couldn't just have, you couldn't just acquire one.
Right.
I don't think so, without a substantial reason.
Okay.
Because these are things that you can come in or use as tools of you know.
And it is a charge to be caught with tools of it. But it's interesting that you raised the point that at the time of purchase, whether it is raising any red flags, as you know, questions should be asked regarding that. And we'll have to follow that
definitely
up
and that is something I really want the public or the people in control to take into consideration. It's not a matter of having too much control on someone's purchase, but remember, these tools can be used for sinister reasons.
Yeah. Okay. Now another angle I want to take, you know, burglar proofing, it's installed, and I've seen situations where people have a whole bunch of locks on their burglar proofing. And so you have a whole bunch of keys. And you know, the question always comes to mind, if something happened, how do you find the key to put it in? Some people have gone to the extent where they hang a key close to the window itself, so that they can easily find it in the event of an emergency and I want to open to get out. What do you recommend in this regard?
That is a difficult question. I have to choose my words very wisely.
Yes.
All right. You can color code your stuff.
Okay.
So you know this window is yellow or this window is green.
Right.
So you have I would not advise having your key close to the window, because there are common places that you'll find a key on a ledge of some sort. So putting it there and having it bulletproof there is
straight still.
So you can color code your stuff.
Okay.
And off the top of my head, probably that's the simplest way to deal with it. Taking into consideration, as you mentioned before, someone of age.
Yes.
So unless they're colorblind.
Right.
Have it blue, so you know immediately when you flick through blue, belongs to this particular block.
Okay. Okay. But are there no other kinds of locking mechanism that gets us away from putting the padlock on the lock, especially for those movable ones where you're not fastening it to the wall? Because I think that's why some people may go with the option of having the burglar proof just fastened. So I eliminate keys. I don't have to open nothing. The burglar proof is just there forever.
Right.
You know, are there no, with advancing technology, are there no other options that people can consider?
If you even do a search on the internet and you just general search of locks, as I said before, the menus are as far and as wide. And different locks that you could employ for a burglar proof. Some locks, depending on your skill level, some guys may not be able to install them or to mount them.
Okay.
And this gives me a chance to flag up my company. We can mount almost any lock.
Okay. All right.
We have that capability.
So the skill is resident in Tobago.
That's right, and it's here to stay.
Okay, excellent. That's comforting. On another level, I want to open up a little discussion, because we have found too, in going around to homes and so on, that, you know, in Tobago we have a lot of pretty homes.
Right.
And people tend to make the choice of aesthetically pleasing look, and sometimes burglar proofing does not fall into that realm based on our limited exposure. What advice would you say to people in terms of that consideration?
Most times, respected to the design or the choice of design or the conversation had along that line is usually the female counterpart of the home, because she's concerned about this thing looking like a burglar bar, like a jail.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all about winning over the person who's making the choice that it can be visually pleasing. It could match, it could have the shape or the lines of a curtain. Whatever you want, you can get. There are books, magazines, there's the internet. If you can't find something that panders to your taste, then something is wrong.
Right, okay.
So the flexibility is there. It's no longer the traditional just lines and a box. No, not at all. But if you want that, you can get that. Ill-advised, but you can get that.
Okay, well, good. Well, I think we've certainly explored. I think we've covered quite a lot of material. Is there anything finally you would want to say to people with regard to protecting their homes and the choice of burglar proofing?
Remain relevant. And the thing about it is, remember, these guys are doing their homework. So the thing about it is you need to also upgrade every now and again. Because, as I say, back in the 80s, we were implementing certain approaches towards making your house safe or your home safe, especially with respect to locks.
Yeah.
So you need to keep relevant and do things differently.
Okay.
Don't develop that sort of a pattern where a would-be thief can catch you in your routine.
Right.
As it is.
Okay, mix it up a little bit.
That's right.
All right, good. Well, thank you very much, Dion.
Take care.
It has been a pleasure chatting with you, and this has been Tobago CSI.